Hey, I would suggest that we just start. And since we're not that many people, maybe we can do a very, very brief round that everybody just briefly says who they are, because I understand that there are many people from the other project and also from our project. So maybe this is also a nice meeting moment. Before I start, I will briefly tell you this is, my name is Dagmar Keim. I work at the City of Amsterdam, and I'm sharing the SURE Eurodelta network. That's an informal network of cities and regions within Matrix. And Matrix is a network of European metropolitan areas. Within this network, we start with the SURE Eurodelta working group, and this is the Eurodelta is another word for the Rhine-Meuse Delta. Basically, it's the area between Amsterdam to Lille to Ruhrgebiet, the Ruhr area. And we are organizing every Friday, end of the month, we are organizing a meeting. And currently the working group is focusing on circular economy because we also got a funding from Interreg funding for a new small scale project from Northwest Europe about the circular economy, where we are focusing on the built environment. So this is officially not yet part of the ESSA project because we're starting next month officially, but we've already been doing this for a year and we had many speakers. This is an open meeting. It will be recorded, it will be set on YouTube, and it will be on the webpage. So if you do not want to be recorded, please turn off your camera. Maybe change your name if you want to be anonymous. But I think you also, by becoming part of this, I see this notice here, but it's in Dutch, I see. I don't know, everybody has it in Dutch, but what this title is saying is that when you are participating in this meeting, you are agreeing that this is recorded. Yeah, and today we have Raymond Feron here. He's a senior, I think, senior policymaker at Rijkswaterstaat. He will tell us all about what is Rijkswaterstaat later. And you're also the project leader from this project that we're going to present. It's a new project, so usually very often we see fine products. So this is nice to see a project that will be evolving. Still, I think we have time, but really, really very short. One sentence, who you are and what you, why you're here. Just briefly, are you part of the project or where you're working for? Is this okay? Yeah. I just go through my list here. So I have to tell you, Alua.
Hi, I work at Vereniging Delta Metropole, and I am going to be working on the research in this project as well.
Okay, on asset. Yeah, thank you. Jan, you first. Maybe this doesn't work like that. Sijan?
Hi, good morning, everyone. I am Zishan Hossain, and I am spatial planner, urban designer, work in the city of Amsterdam, and support Dagmar on SURE Eurodelta work. Thank you.
Thank you. Daan Jongejan?
Yes, I'm Dan, and I work for the municipality of Amsterdam as a policy officer in the circular economy. And I'm not involved in the project. I'm here to listen.
Yeah, thank you. Julia Jacobi?
Yeah, hi, I'm from Duisburg Business and Innovation, and we are a project partner. I'm working there as project manager, circular economy.
Yeah. Kathleen Miseret?
Hi, I'm Kathleen Miseret. I'm from the Flanders Environment Agency, and we are working in the BEPROACT project.
Okay, thank you. Then there is a host, somebody from the City of Amsterdam. I'm not sure who that is, but let's keep that anonymous. Nick de Meersman?
Yes, Nick de Meersman, a colleague of Kathleen Miseret, also in the BEPROACT project.
Yeah, welcome. Erik Pasveer.
Yes, good morning. I'm Erik Pasveer. I work for the City of Amsterdam as head of the Department for Strategy, Urban Planning.
Yeah. Peter? Paul?
Yeah, good morning. Peter Paul, City of The Hague. I'm spatial strategist. I will be active also in asset, and I'm active also in metrics.
Yeah, welcome. Then I have something which is Slim Turkey.
Yes, good afternoon. So Slim Turkey, senior researcher at the Luxembourg Institute of Science and Technology and partner in BEPROACT.
Welcome.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, Stephen.
Good afternoon. I work for Metrics as the head of secretariat and a project partner of Asset.
Yeah, and Gilbert Westorp.
Yeah, my name is Gilbert Westorp. I'm a colleague of Raymond. I'm also working with Rijkswaterstaat within their BEPROACT project.
Okay, and Caroline Rana.
Hello, good morning. I'm Caroline Rana. I'm an urban planner of the city of Amsterdam. I'm not part of the project, so I'm just interested in listening.
Yeah. Did I forget somebody?
Yeah, me. This is Dirk Jansen from Federal Highway Research Institute in Germany, BAST, and partner of BEPROACT.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, and also I'm Ludovica Medori, and I work for the city of Amsterdam as a public space designer. I work for StadsDeel Oost, so it's a specific part of Amsterdam, but I've been already at these sessions and I find them very inspiring. So I'm not involved in the Eurodelta projects, but I'm curious to know what's going on.
Yeah, thank you. Okay. All right, thank you very much. I think this is a little bit nice to know a little bit who's actually the audience and who we're talking with. So, Raymond, I would like you to take over the screen and tell us about the new project.
Yes, thank you, Dagmar, for introducing me. I can, if I'm correct, I'm now started to share my screen. Just checking here. I see people not. That's good. So maybe sometimes I will look to a little bit to the left, but that's because my bigger screen is there. So my name is Raymond Feron, Raymond Feron, the way you like it. You can also say in French, Raymond Feron. That's also nice. So I can live with all the European languages. I work at Rijkswaterstaat. I'm a project manager of this project, and as Dagmar said, next to that, I'm a policymaker advisor on digital transformation. So that's my background. I'm starting to share my screen. I plan to do 15 minutes presentation, but Dagmar, you can just say, well, maybe sometimes I get too enthusiastic, so help me keep on track. I find in the final sheet I will have a few questions or maybe opportunities to explore with each other how we can connect the BEPROACT project with the initiatives that you are working on. So that will be my final sheet. What you see here is a picture of the project team when we did our launch event in Amsterdam. So you see if you look very closely, you see some people who are in the meeting also on the picture. Kathleen is there, and Dirk, and Gilbert, and on the bottom side, you see a picture of myself. You know, always looking at your own picture, but next to you see the smiling lady. That's Nathalie Ank, and I'm doing the project manager. We're doing a combined job, so I'm doing it together with Nathalie. And you see, she's always in a good mood. You can see that from the picture. So that's introducing Nathalie. On the left side, that's what we call the project sheet. But what's important here is that we just started last year. So we started in the middle of 2023. We have a 4-year period. So we have plenty of time. We are starting up pilot cases. We are starting up joint strategy session. I will come to that later in the explanation. And this will be of course, potentially interesting to get also a wider community to join in, either to think with us or do co-design. So this will be, if that could be interesting for you, a thing to explore. The project is about building an ecosystem in a proactive way for data-driven asset management. It's really focusing on asset management, and not the main focus is to do the digital transformation to go from traditional asset management to data-driven asset management, and circularity or more environmental goals. That would be in our project. Maybe you can find that in the secondary goal. So that's not our main focus, but doing clever things with data that always almost always also reflects on more circular, less material. We'll come to that later. So this is my introduction sheet. And let me see whether the next slide will be. I have to activate the screen. So when I explored this meeting with Dagmar and with Suzanne, they said, well, what about Rijkswaterstaat? What's the name of Rijkswaterstaat in English? We don't have a name of Rijkswaterstaat in English, but we are part of the ministry, and it's the Ministry of Infrastructure and Water Management. And of course, that's a nice English term. So what is Rijkswaterstaat doing? I think for the people in Amsterdam, they probably know a little bit about Rijkswaterstaat, but for the people more from abroad, Rijkswaterstaat is managing 3 national infrastructures in the Netherlands. So we have the water system. We have that's on the right side. You see the IJssel Lake and part of the North Sea. We have the waterways, so the rivers and channels, where the transport. So there are the national waterways where the big transport is going on the water, and we have the national highway infrastructure. So these 3 national infrastructures, we are managing that for the ministry. And of course, they are connected with the provinces and with the cities. And then you go to the local and regional infrastructure. But at the national level, that's what our jobs. And the reason we are doing this project, we are a lead partner in the project, is that we are facing a huge challenge in this national infrastructure with lock systems, flyovers, tunnels, bridges, and they happen to be all built after the Second World War, so in the 50s and the 60s. And if you know a little bit about infrastructure, that means they are all at the same time, almost the same time, coming to end of life, and that's what we are facing now. So we have a big end of lifetime problem or issue in the Netherlands. And on the right hand side, that's not really to read from your screen, but you see that's the map where we have what we call replacement and renovation. It's a big investment program for the next 5 to 10, 15 years, and you can see that's a quite crowded map where we are doing all investment. And these investments, of course, they give the opportunity to do clever things in the replacement, or maybe extend lifetime, but also do clever things in the replacement. And I think that would be a link to, for example, circularity. Next slide is this is the partnership. So if you listen carefully, you see people from the BAS. The BAS. I think the Autobahn is not there, but the BAS and the Autobahn are the VMM, the Flanders Environmental Agency. List is present. Maybe I'm missing, of course, Rijkswaterstaat. And well, so a few of our partners are joining this meeting. We also have associated partners, and they are not really on every meeting, but they are, for example, Glasgow, a big city, that's interesting. But also we have some technology partners, and we have from Rijkswaterstaat a good connection with the Army Corps of Engineers in the United States, and we like to use them to do some review of the approach that we do. So we have some connections outside Europe also as associated partners. This is the slide where I briefly explain the 3, you can say, flows that we are going to work on in the project for the coming 3 to 4 years. That's in fact how to develop a joint strategy to see how every partner is working on asset management and new developments. And to transform to the organization. So there's more like an organizational change than a technology change, because technology is not the biggest issue. It's about how to implement it in your organization, to do more proactive and data-driven asset management. So sharing ideas and see whether, well, I'll come to that later. The second line, and this is the most important, you can say that's the heartbeat of the project, is about getting our assets smart. And in that we are doing pilot cases and development new technology on different asset types. So we have the asset types about the road pavements, we have asset types of bridge infrastructure, but also water management and water treatment and built environment from our French partners. So we have different asset types, and we try to learn from each other in solutions that can help get these assets more ready for the future. People, that's the third line. That's about it's how to do human development, how to do training of people to get more easy that people adapt to technology and implement it in the organization. That's the third line. So that's the brief summary. This is a quite full sheet, but it's about the flow or the roadmap that you that has been visualized. So you can imagine this. The timeline is on the lower level. Of course, communication about what we are doing and deliverable is important. And in this, you can see that we are when we are really getting up to speed, we're going to do a roadshow events or demonstrate the solutions or do strategic sessions about how to develop this joint strategy. But it all starts with a good definition of what kind of services do we need. And these definitions is, you can see on the left upper side, you see the built environment. These are the asset types that we are covering in the project. It's quite wide variety. So we're not focusing only on water or only on pavement or only, we have a wide variety. And one of the questions when we got funded of the European Commission said, well, why so many assets? But we believe that the cross domain learning about solutions in a water management system or solutions on the bridge or the pavement can really benefit from other domains. So we stuck to our plan, and in the end we convinced the critical review that we should have a more focus on this project. So anyway, so the definition of data-driven services. Of course, we're going to do real development and proof of concept and do like agile-like new solutions. So all partners are investing in developing new solutions that can be different technology. And of course, when we come to the end of the project, then we go do test, validate, and real life really make sure that what we develop is implemented at one of the asset locations, one of the asset types, and then see how this has been implemented in the organization. So this is the roadmap. What we did in the launch event is we had what we call the World Cafe. You see here all the partners trying to explain to each other what are the plans and to co-design the pilot case definitions. And that's what we did here. And I now give you a brief. Let's see to the next. I think the next slide. So this is where technology becomes important. And I try to go to a quick link to our website. And I hope this works on the right screen. Just checking here. Do you follow me on the? Yeah. So this is, you see one of our partners, Geospark. It's a company, a GIS type company in Belgium. They're working together with the VMM, the Flemish. And this is a poster of the initiative that they would like to do. It's too small to really read it, I think. But it's what I'm trying to say. This is our official website. It's still under progress. But in the website we have like you say, you can walk through our separate pilot case posters that will be transformed in this definition. So let's see. I just click on this button, and now we're scrolling through the portfolio. I'm not going into too much detail of the portfolio, but this is just a teaser that you can say, well, go to our website, go to on the upper hand, you can see I'm pointing it to, it doesn't work on the posters. You can also see the link. Launch event posters. On the posters, you can really easily scroll through these. It works perfectly. So, for example, TNO, our partner, they are working on the asphalt wearing course served life. That predict how long asphalt can be used. That's one of our partners. The other one is more predictive control of wastewater collection systems. That our RTC for Water partner. End of life is also from TNO. End of life rule checking. For bridge portfolio. So if you have a lot of bridges end of life, TNO has experience of doing a real end of life checking. It's like a model they are developing. Here you see the sheet of the French part of the Burgundy part, and they are more in the smart building, so like smart buildings, maybe energy efficient or also lifetime of buildings. This is a teaser, so I'm not trying to explain all but you can go there, you can download this visual and see, well, oh, I would like to contact one of these partners to go into detail because the pilot cases are still in the definement phase. So they are really flexible, and you can, by participating, if you get interested, you can participate, you can influence the way that we're going to develop it. So that's, I think, important to know. University of Lille is partner and is really in the drone and the analytics of drone. So that's important for example, inspection of infrastructure you cannot address. Now Kathleen, you are seeing your poster, and come to that. There's one pilot case I will be presenting a little bit more detail because they made a nice video. I will come to that in my next slide. So this is the idea that VMM is participating. Rijkswaterstaat, of course, is also doing data for asphalt, like data analytics on asphalt data. We're working together with the Autobahn and the BAST. So you can imagine road infrastructure connects the German partners with the Dutch partner. But also lifetime prediction model of asphalt. So we have a lot of data. We can do lifetime prediction model, just extend it or see whether you do. And we're also doing like GIS dashboarding, so you can make a better planning, financial planning of the asphalt. Let's see whether I'm Autobahn and BAS. So Dirk, if I'm correct, you now see some of the things that you're planning. You see a lifetime prediction of asphalt. The connection with Rijkswaterstaat is clear. Also sensors in asphalt, like weigh and motion sensors, like and also real-time data transfer. So you can see the experience of the BAST as technology partners and from the German road infrastructure. They are planning to do pilot cases and developments on these subjects. Let's see where we are now. This is the second France partner, the Burgundy, also on the strong on the built environment. And well, I will say on the final one. This is Dublin City Council. I forgot to tell them in the beginning. Dublin City Council is doing participating on their asset fault management system, that like traffic asset control of the city of Dublin, and they would like to do data-driven way to improve that. And then I'm at the beginning, so Geospark. So this is just a quick preview. Just stopping this sheet. This is also exciting to stop. Yeah, I'm back to my presentation, and now I have a 2 minutes teaser of one of these pilot cases. So you get some impression if you really zoom into the pilot case. This is what you get from the VMM and Geospark partner. See whether the link works. Is the sound also coming through?
There's no sound.
No, sound is not. Then I'll.
No, you have to share again.
Yeah, I have to click again. I know what to do. So I'm coming up there. Share. Just am I sharing the screen again?
Yeah.
Go back a little bit.
Is not just
No
essential,
better?
it's vital. Yet we face a pressing challenge: how to safeguard it. Industries and agriculture depend on clean water, but they also generate wastewater. Rainfall can trigger sewage overflows and debris, endangering our rivers. Even firefighting efforts can introduce pollutants. What if our waterways could tell us when there's something wrong? Well, they can. Our waterways are being monitored by sensors that are measuring the physical properties of water quality. Smart alarming technology guards these water sensors and generates immediate insights in water quality status while prioritizing alerts. As soon as a potential incident is detected, our tracing technology will be activated. It traces the source and location of pollution upstream. Downstream, it predicts the consequences and pinpoints affected areas. Behind the scenes, we employ big data analysis and pattern recognition to detect imminent risks to fish mortality. When a drop of oxygen can be expected, aerator machines are proactively switched on to maintain a sufficient oxygen level in the water for the fish to breathe. With this approach and these valuable tools, we're able to manage emergencies and safeguard the fish ecosystems. However, our talking assets in the water demand care. They must be cleaned and calibrated regularly. Data-driven health analysis tells us when and how they need repair. This allows for planning and optimization. The result? A smarter, more efficient maintenance service that covers more ground, water, in one trip. Flanders Environment Agency and GeoSpark are providing a streamlined solution within BEPROACT, the first project in Europe to focus on data-driven asset management. With the support of Interreg Northwest Europe and Flanders Innovation and Entrepreneurship, we're crossing borders with BEPROACT. Want to know more? Visit our website and learn all about how we're committed to improving water quality in our European rivers together.
So this just gives you an impression. And I would like to stress this is only one of our asset types, pilot cases. You can imagine, I think, let's see, Derek from the BAST, when he saw this video, said, well, if I show this video to, I'm just freely summarizing what you said. This is if I show this video to my upper management in BAST Highway, they get confused. Derek, this was one of your ideas. So what we are planning to do for every asset type, get the pilot case in one of these small movies, so we can demonstrate what we are doing. That's the idea. Now I think I have to speed up a little bit, Dagmar. I'm doing fine. I think I have maybe 4 slides more. The BEPROACT has different goals, like business goals from the asset management. Put on the left side, more like lifetime. You can see them in the portfolio of pilot cases. Of course, your project or the things that you could be interested in from the other project in Amsterdam is like circularity goals. But of course you can see the connection between these two projects, like less materials, energy saving, cost saving, or cost saving is. So there could be some connection in the goals. I don't explain it because I'm pressed for time. I don't explain this in much more detail, but we have these 2 other workflows like smart strategy and smart people. And you can see that this is also a 3-4 years planning, but we work on more data-driven, like to get more insight in the future state of more data-driven asset management. What are the benefits? And the second one is more like the human capital. Explain that. Just a brief thing, we would like to put all the pilot cases on this, what we call a data enrichment cycle. So you can imagine if you have start with smart data of sensors, you do something with it, like artificial intelligence or clever analytics. Then you need some people who are doing something with it, smart people, and then you close the circle, like you improve your work or you get your business goals, and then you try to get this circle connected from sensors to analytics, people training, and smart work. So we try to plot all the things that we develop on this data enrichment cycle. This is more like the way we try to work together in our project. And just really to come to some idea of what are we doing in the strategy development. You can imagine that organizations are at the moment not very mature in how they do maintenance, like they are working preventive maintenance. You just start doing something when something goes wrong. What you would like to do more like predictive or maybe prescriptive. So you would like to get organizations more mature in their way to do asset management or maintenance. And one way to do that is to do pilots, to experiments, and do experiments to get people more curious about the potential. Of course, get funding of your pilots, but at the end, start implementing the solutions. And you can do that. You go from maturity level 1 to 2 by implementing the pilots and start making decisions based on data. So this is just a very simple way to demonstrate that what we are doing in the pilot phase, that should result in a more decision making, and that helps you reach a higher maturity level on data-driven asset management. And this is a way to combine pilots to a more strategic approach. And of course, if you go back, well, this is more the theory, like pilots. And you can imagine here you see the portfolio of the pilots. The pilots we are doing in this project are fitting well on the orange in the pilot cases, test experiments. You can imagine that the pilots we're doing are going to be helpful to get our organizations that are partners in a more mature way. This is my final sheet. So I speed it up a little bit, Dagmar. My final sheet is, thank you all. You see the pictures on the right-hand side of our launch event in Amsterdam. So if you look closely, you see the Oranje Sluizen in Amsterdam. I think the Amsterdam people should recognize that. I'm not lying there. So Gilbert, that are the photo of the Oranjesluiter, right? Is it correct? Yeah. So that's and the picture of our partnership also is a picture of I think somewhere is it the main rail station? So we have something with Amsterdam with our project because we did the launch event there. But questions, please feel free to ask questions. And I got two prepared. How to combine this smart maintenance goals with circularity goals. That could be one of things to explore. And the second one is, of course, we do some co-design in the pilot phase, but also on the strategy. And there we can do meetings and invite people from other projects to join in, to think with us on the strategy or on the pilot cases. So that's an open invitation. If you like, we can just invite you for this kind of meetings. Two questions to explore.
Thank you very much. Maybe you stop sharing so we can see you a little bit bigger.
Yeah, I'll stop sharing now, right?
Yeah, okay, thank you. So I would like to ask people, do you have questions? Would you like to have something better explained? No start? Shall I start then, kicking off the discussion? First of all, Raymond, I was interested, why did you choose a Northwest Europe project? Because you chose partners from neighboring countries.
Yeah.
And you could have done another one, Europe, or are there many options you can get funding? Is it a conscious decision?
Yeah, I could answer that in two directions. So we have from earlier projects in Rijkswaterstaat, we have already a strong partnership in a number of, say half of the partners in the BEPROACT, at least half are partners that we know well from earlier projects, and we have some confidence and we trust each other. So that's easy to start working together. So that's the say build on to the earlier strong partnerships. But the second one is that we really believe, and we have a strong case, is that Northwest Europe is quite strong, is a strong economic part of Europe. I hope I'm not saying something bad about the southern part of Europe, but so that there's some priority in Northwest Europe to say, well, if there's a strong economic force in getting our infrastructure modernized, then you can think about followers and leaders. So we can think we have an economic lead in doing this kind of development and transition to data-driven asset management, modernize it. And in this huge challenge I presented at the beginning of Rijkswaterstaat, you can imagine that also in the less strong economic parts of Europe, they also have this kind of replacement problems, but they are maybe not aware, or maybe just trying to look for the funding or the capacity to start working on it. So we can take a lead here. That's one of the reasons to make it make it sense to find a budget here.
Yeah, that makes sense. And are you thinking about, like, for example, when you develop an asset, that the pilot will be upscaled only or implemented only at Rijkswaterstaat, or are you also then immediately thinking about upscaling to the neighboring countries?
Yeah, that's what we promised, and what we can promise upfront is that every partner who is doing a pilot case is going to do the pilot case, and you can implement or test, validate it in a real life location, so at one asset types. But of course, we spend a lot of time doing transnational reusability. So in the design of the solutions, we try to. Now let's take the example between the BAST and Autobahn Rijkswaterstaat. Of course, we would like to see whether the solution that we are, and we're joining in the development from Rijkswaterstaat, the solution that's being developed and implemented there, we are, let's say, committed for Rijkswaterstaat to do a serious thought, or committed to be open to start using the same solution. Of course, if you don't know the solution at the beginning, that's not a formal legal commitment, but we are committed to do transnational exploration of implementation. So that's a little bit of a fluid answer.
Yeah. Sorry if I can't remember. Who was from Autobahn? I think Dirk.
Dirk is from the BAST.
Okay, sorry. Who was from the Autobahn?
Dirk Jansen.
Oh, it is Dirk Jansen. Okay. Yeah.
No, I'm not from Autobahn, but
okay, sorry.
There's nobody from Autobahn here today.
Okay.
Yeah, but
because I was interested what, for example, the partners of your project think about this. But I think there's no German partner here, is there?
Yeah.
Oh, Dirk, sorry, I did not.
But Dirk, the BAST and Autobahn are closely connected. So Dirk, maybe you can try to answer the question of Dagmar. Is that possible?
Yeah, I try to. So the Northwest Europe funding is very interesting for us because the Netherlands as well as Belgium and Germany are very similar when it comes to road construction and also traffic loads as well as climatical loads. So therefore we have, especially with the Netherlands, we have a close connection our relationship beforehand. There's a lot of exchange going on between Rijkswaterstaat, BAST and Autobahn anyway. And yeah, as said, the construction types and the problems and the challenges are very similar.
Okay.
That fits well in my answer, Dagmar. If you have similar challenges and similar constructions, you can easily design technology or data-driven solutions that can be really be useful for more than one partner. So that's the kind of idea that we try to explore here.
Yeah, the reason why I asked this is also, for example, when we talk about circularity, at a certain point, maybe we want to, maybe we can reuse the material that comes from the Autobahn renovations or from bridges, not just hypothetically. It would be, of course, great if you would have one person that contributes all the material instead of 3 different countries with 3 different. So we are just, since this is one of the goals of what we're going to do with asset, I was wondering whether this would be future dreams that are feasible, or this is maybe just an idea to think about during your project as well. Tijan, sorry, you had your hand up.
Yes. Hi, Raymond. Thank you so much for a very informative presentation. I mean, I always have too many questions, but I believe I'll stick to 2 this time. So my first question would be, because you mentioned in your presentation that there are several themes on which the focus is being given. So what are are there any connections between these themes, between them also, or they are individually focused themes? That is my first question. And my second question would be, because we are talking about asset management and particularly about water and water management, how can our coastal cities learn from them? Our ports can learn from them, because what is the key learning that we can take and upscale to Eurodelta scale, for example?
Okay, let's try to answer your 2 questions. The first one is indeed we have in our pilot case development, we focus on an asset type, and then we have we call it pilot case captains, because it doesn't make sense to get road people in the development phase combined with water people. That doesn't make sense in the development. But the binding thing in the project is being designed about a joint strategy. So I said I presented we have 3 lines. We have a joint strategy, and that's quite similar. So that's how to transform your organization to more data driven. And this is where we find all the asset type development groups. But within the pilot case and the posters I presented briefly, this is really like zoom in to a subgroup of our partnership, and they focus on their solution and their asset type. And of course, the human development is also like how do you do training, how to make sure that pilot cases are implemented in your organization. That's also something that binds us together. So we have pilot cases separately, and we have strategy and human connecting it. That's the idea. That's the first question. The second one is, let's see, is Kathleen still there? So the question is about is you can imagine how to connect more like coastal regions, and for example from the water management side, that's quite you can try to see the connection there. From the infrastructure, that's maybe more difficult, but I'm not sure. But Kathleen, could you help me out here? I'm not sure if you are still active.
I am still here. What we are doing is mainly based on the multi-parameter probes that we have in our rivers. So we measure the water quality constantly using multi-parameter probes. If you have those in a coastal area, you can do the same thing with the measurements and the data-driven management of those assets.
Yeah, so that could be a connection if you harbors, you can imagine water quality and pollution in harbors could also be a specific focus point. That could be really a nice connection to explore whether to duplicate or replicate this kind of ideas of solutions. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Kathleen, for helping me out here.
You're welcome.
Yeah, before I ask Dan, I'm sorry, because it's connecting to this question. I was wondering, you're going to work on the national waterways. Are you talking with the regional and local water management people? So this will become one system, because in the end, I mean, all the water is connected. Is this a goal in the long term?
We are covering all the waterways in Flanders, so not just at national level, but also the ones that are responsibility of the provinces or the local communities. So we cover them all. And because it's interlinked, we cannot just do the national and not look at the rest. You have to do them all.
And that's different than we do it in the Netherlands. So in the Netherlands, we can do it different. In the Netherlands, Rijkswaterstaat is doing the national water, also measurements. But you can imagine that could be something to explore again. Well, but I think Rijkswaterstaat is committed with VMM to see whether we can, at the phase that you got solutions, whether that could be also applied in the Rijkswaterstaat waters, but then you have directly connected them to the water system of cities like Amsterdam, and of course we have the waterschappen dan nog in the Netherlands. Well, that's okay, yeah. But that's something we are exploring. But in the beginning, it's important to get, how do you call it in the sailing, to get going with a solution and development, and then in the phase when we get some results, then we can explore the more broad application.
Yeah, thank you very much. Dan, thank you.
Yes, thank you for your presentation. And at the moment, at the circularity team, we're looking at the possibility to develop an urban mining dashboard, which predicts which materials will come available in the coming years. But that one is mainly focused on buildings. Is there space in this project also for this type, or is it only focused on infrastructure and water?
So this is it's a pity that not one of our French partners is participating now, and they in a way have scoped their smart building and built environment solutions, but I think I haven't heard them talk about really material like circular material reuse and planning, but they could be open for that. So that would be really important to ask this question in a more explorational way with our French partner in the north of France. So that would be a really nice follow-up question, Dan. If I can facilitate that and get you in contact with our French partners to start this question, whether they are open for this particular goal in their approach. I don't know the exact answer to that at this time.
Okay, that would be nice, and I will send you an email maybe with my contact details. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I think this is exactly what Anna is saying. Is one of the things we see. On the one hand, you are being circular by keeping things longer being used, right? And by doing maybe maintenance only if it's necessary, so that is reducing CO2, etc. But also with this knowing when you're going to repair a bridge, you will also know when you will have materials. And when we're building housing, for example, or also when we are doing our open public space, we always see, of course, that we need to know. This is one of the biggest problems with circular economy, that you need to know when is material available.
Yeah.
So this would be this. It seems like this is would be a very nice chance to take also, especially with asphalt and building materials that you use, to take that into your planning about, somehow, is there something that you, can inventory?
Sure, but so I think in Gilbert, maybe you, it's Rijkswaterstaat also, we do a lot of infrastructure project, and you know the material thing and the circular incentives in this big projects, getting them on the market, is still something that we are learning in the learning curve. Gilbert, is that right? Can you give some idea, because you're from one of the regional entities of Rijkswaterstaat. Can you say something about that? How does that work about materials in our infrastructure project?
I think the point Dagmar links to the programming of our work, and the programming of the type of work and the moment of the type of work is crucial. And knowing when an object fails or will fail in short notice is hard to predict. And we are starting to learning more about the last phase of lifetime of an asset. And so we are getting better failure moments. And this is part of our programming department.
Okay, but if you got the planning right, then you can do you can match that with the planning of materials availability or reuse. That's I think Dagmar, that's your point here. Yeah, but it's so it's okay. It's interesting to explore. I think in this early phase that we are still in. That's good.
Yeah. Okay. Question from the audience, because I feel like I'm always full with questions. So. Well, then I just briefly take the Amsterdam view. When I hear what you're doing with the asphalt, with the water, and the bridges, etc. In Amsterdam, maybe not everybody knows, we are having a problem with our bridges, for example, right now. We waited until something happened, and now we're replacing them all, just what you were saying, Raymond. This is typically how it's done. With this technology of asset management, is there something that you work together with local governments so they can learn from this? Or we are also developing things like that? How are we making sure that not everybody is developing another system right now?
Yeah. Well, that's a good question, Dagmar. Now, what I explained in the last part of my presentation, I speed it up a little bit, is about how to get your organization more mature in asset management, data-driven asset management, so more mature in. And this is exactly the point here. So Rijkswaterstaat is in a transition, and some people think in Rijkswaterstaat that we are already quite mature. But I think if you look at it very closely, we are not that mature yet. So we are really in between, maybe maturity level 1 or 2. And this stepping from a traditional way to a more modern way, I think we can really learn from big city of metropoles. Like you also have a lot of what you say bridge problems. So it's more like, how can we learn from each other? How to get to a more mature? I think that would be a nice first step to explore. But your question was, are we already working together? You know, I think on a project base. So if we do bridge renovation or in a bridge that is somewhere in the Amsterdam region, in the how do you call it, in the round way of Amsterdam, then we will be connecting that with some people from Amsterdam. But it's on a project, in a project focus, and not on a asset management strategy yet. That's my my honest answer.
Yeah, it seems like you almost lead a Klankbord group or something, like a group of people that from cities Maybe that like a national network as well.
Yeah.
Especially since Holland is so complicated, if I may say. It's organized, well organized, very well organized, but quite complex. Yeah. All right. If there are no more questions, I think everybody is happy if we always have at 1 o'clock the next meeting. So everybody's always happy to have 5 minutes to get some water for the next meeting. And I would like to thank you very much, very interesting. I invited my colleagues from Amsterdam from the asset management. I think the Friday was a bad moment. So we are going to see how we can maybe continue this discussion. And also with the asset project, with the SURE project, I think would be very nice at a certain point if we present it and then you could see if we are a little bit further because we are just starting next month, then maybe you can learn also from what we are doing. Hello, I have one more hand.
Yeah, hello, Dagmar, and my apologies because I joined very late. I hope you can hear me because but I just wanted to quickly say a couple of things. I am together with Raymond and Gilbert and Derek and Kathleen and the rest of the partners in the BEPROACT. I'm from the lead partner team, so together with Raymond, responsible for the process management of it. And in addition to a number of the answers that have been given, number one, with regards to the buildings, good answer, Raymond, with the French partner. But we also have an associate partner from Glasgow City Council. Yes, they're no longer in the European Union due to the Brexit, but they also have valuable information that we could share with you. The other question with regards to the the influence for coastal management or coastal defense, we have another project which addresses that issue very specifically. So we could share with Zeshan that information. I'm the process manager of that European project as well. So if you send your questions and details to Raymond, he will share it with me. It's in particular about the software reliability for vital infrastructure in the water sector, so storm surge barriers, sluices, etc. And the third comment I would like to add was with regards to the circular economy and the reuse of materials. We have an innovative project at Rijkswaterstaat where we actually put certain materials on a marketplace so that they can be reused by other organizations and so that we are not just throwing things away when we are updating or maintaining our physical infrastructure. So it's a very unique approach. And the last comment I would like to make, so that everybody can wash their hands, get some water before 1 o'clock, is engaging together with the cities. We do also in another project that we have. We did involve Amsterdam Net, I can't remember exactly, WaterNet in one of the projects. We'd be very interested if there are cities who are interested. We are setting up a new project. It's about resilience in the face of the increasing extreme weather events that we are facing with the aging infrastructure that we have, and how do we address that to increase our resilience. So those are just 4 additions. Sorry for the late arrival and for this interruption. And thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Maybe you can send the links to these different projects to Zeshan, and then we would add them on the webpage or somewhere of SURE so people can look it up, because this was now very fast. And of course, we would be interested in Amsterdam to know about the SLAT project, and maybe other peer partners here. Yeah. All right. Thank you very much. Then, yeah, join us next Friday. We are doing every last Friday of the month. We are having this discussion.
Okay, thank you for giving us the opportunity to share it with you.
Yeah, it was very interesting. Thank you very much.
Okay, bye-bye.
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 Thank you.
Leuk,
Deze
ja.
weer.
Was het interessant? Ja.
Ja, denk ik wel. Ja, dat had...
Het wordt nog opgenomen. Kijk.
Oh, we zitten nog in de opname? Oh ja, het loopt.
Dan moet even uit.
Ja, dat geeft. Nee, dat is niet handig dan. Oké, hoi.